Who will duel their way to the front tonight? We'll find out as the street stocks come screaming to life here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Carver carries the white 40 off of turn number 2. Finnewald and James Flood behind him. All three cars that run 1, 2, 3 have been to victory lane here at some point this season. Flood now has to cut to the inside to avoid the 73 of Frank Escamilla. Johnny Finnewald falling back. The driver from Arkansas wants to add another Lucas Oil Speedway trophy to the trophy case. Another good, clean start as the green flag waves for Carver. And Shane, you cannot discount the dominance that we saw out of that 40 in its only other previous trip to Wheatland. I want to say it was a 4, 5, 6 second victory. I mean, he just had the field flat covered.
To Tony Jackson Jr. chassis, and what we've learned from pretty much any division, Tony Jackson Jr. puts together some fabulous cars. And not only is it a chassis that performs, but that Craft Performance engine was bad fast as well, as Frank Escamilla in the 73 looks to battle for that second spot, looking to the inside of the Flash, Johnny Finnewald. Good story on Johnny Finnewald's car. That is Colton Borland's ride in the number 2. He traded a Polaris Razor for that car, and I think that's a pretty good upgrade. Colton finishes 5th in the point standings here at Lucas Oil Speedway, but he hands the keys over to the Flash, Johnny Finnewald, and Johnny has been able to will it and not only find his way to victory lane, but really kind of be a role model, mentor for Colton Borland in the process.
Well, and the work that he did on that car has made it racier and racier since he took it to victory lane. Great run so far here for Frank Escamilla. It's been hit and miss on the race season for the driver of the 73, as we call it Bayou Girl 2.0, the nickname of his old race car before he got this one, keeping James Flood behind him, but not allowing Johnny Finnewald, the Flash, to get away. Who is getting away? Your race leader. Taylor Carver now enjoys a 3-second advantage over the field, and it may be a different night, but it may be the same song for the driver of the 40, as he is just cruising right now. But as we often see, sometimes, Shane, the great equalizer can be lap traffic, and Carver, as quick a lap times as he is ticking off, is about to find himself in lap traffic, and here we go again. O'Neill spins it around off the exit of turn number 4, right in front of the race leaders, and that is going to allow us to stay green as he has come to a rest on the infield. The battle continues back for third between Escamilla and James Flood.
Flood in the 42, as we mentioned, a race winner. And give Frank Escamilla a ton of credit in Bayou Girl 2.0. What a job he has done just getting through the field and battling past some top cars that we've already seen pick up feature wins on the year. But man, nobody's even coming close to Taylor Carver right now, as he is carving up the field. 3.7 seconds his advantage.
About the only thing that's going to catch Carver right now is a yellow for something happening further back in the field, or a mistake. All about making clean laps right now, hitting your spots while they continue to battle for third, though. Escamilla now with some breathing room back to the 42 of Flood, and then behind them, Big Show Bob Barnett, the racer from Republic, Missouri, holding down the 5th spot so far on the pylon. But Carver, nothing real fancy about that car, Shane. Not a ton of sponsorship up and down the side of it, just enough to get it to the track, but it has been a good season for him. Runs that Arkansas, Texas area. Got wins earlier this year here, and continues to just dominate. Sponsored by Carver and Carver Construction and Edwin Wells Racing.
James Flood doing what he can to reel in Frank Escamilla. And we've seen so many cars over just the last few weeks, as there's your driver to watch, Toby Ott. He's gotten up into the battle now as he looks to the inside of the 74 of Scott Stewart. And Scott Stewart is nicknamed Too Hot, but as I mentioned before, I'd like to say he's as cool as the other side of the pillow. He is Iceman whenever it comes to how well he runs. 6 championships at Humboldt, 12 total in his career, and he is a 3-time winner already this year with a win at Humboldt and 2 wins at Nevada.
Well, the two-time track champion here at Lucas Oil Speedway doing battle with the 74 all the while. Carver continues to grow his advantage. The difference now between he and Johnny Finewald, almost 6 seconds, as Carver just continues to turn lap after lap with no one in sight. Carver in the middle of the backstretch. Johnny Finewald hasn't even exited turn number 2 yet. He has straightawayed and then some the field now as Flood comes flying back. He has the inside line alongside the 73 as he tries to get around and get that spot back away from Escamilla.
Flood moving up 7 spots already in this race.
Escamilla, though, keeps his foot to the floor, continues to run that high line with the 3 different divisions we've seen tonight and the number of laps that have been turned with qualifying and everything else. There is a lot of character to this racetrack and a lot of opportunity for drivers to pick the groove that works best for their race car. Flood hammered down off the bottom of 2, rips around the 73 now and can try and turn his attention to reeling in the Flash, Johnny Finewald. But something may have let go underneath the hood of Bayou Girl. Carver puts the 74 a lap down. And
carved it out of the soybean field, and that is what you see now. It's come a long way, hasn't it?
It has indeed. So has this field now, because thanks to the caution, Carver's almost 7-second advantage evaporates now, and he has to fight off the 42 of James Flood. Flood side by side with him. Carver will clip around and hold on to the top spot as they roll under the flag stand. Flood continues to keep his car to the bottom of the racetrack. Carver comfortable up around the top side, not too high, not flirting with the cushion, but look at the run he gets off of 4, Shane. This 40 car has been hooked up since it got off the trailer and dominant lap after lap.
It has, but give James Flood a ton of credit where Carver was really pulling away and gapping the field after the caution came out. While it has only been a couple laps, Flood has, for the most part, been able to hang with Carver just up until that last lap. Now you see the Flash, Johnny Finewald, starting to get up into it. He looks to battle for second with Flood.
Finewald had been running in second prior to the caution, as we've just got a couple more laps to go. Shane, I can't get away from this. We've done a lot of races here. I don't know that I've ever seen a race where we've only got, 4 cars on the lead lap? I mean, that's what Carver has done to the field tonight, as the 40 flies through 3 and 4, now gets up in a little bit of that loose stuff. That slowed his progress. He will take the white flag now. Flood only 1 more lap to try and catch up, and he's got a 1.3 second disadvantage. That means Carver just has to keep that car clean, hit his marks 1 more time off of turn number 4, and it is the 40 making its second trip to victory lane here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks.
Full moon lurking in the background. I shouldn't have said that, but we're about to go green off the exit of turn number 4. Joseph Gorby, Bartlesville, Oklahoma, going to show the way underneath the green flag alongside of Justin Duty. Duty will fire back to the top side. He'll stretch that rubber band down the back chute, show the way. Here comes Aaron Morant. Aaron Morant, the 1X Machine, your Quick Time Award winner. Quickly tucks into that runner-up position. He is going for the lead off turn number 4. 3 wide battle off the exit of turn number 4. But lap number 1 will go to the 15 car of Justin Duty. Lead the field back off turn number 4. 39 laps still to go. So we'll show the way. Aaron Morant back on that top shelf in the runner-up position. Gorby, your pole sitter, works the bottom side. They'll run 1, 2, 3 down the back chute. Here comes Chad Simpson in the deuce nickel, as well as the 93 of Mason Oberkramer. Occupies that 4th spot. Now slide Oberkramer up to position number 3 as he quickly makes his way around Gorby, and now down to the inside. Might have seen a little luck early on as we seen him going around in pace laps, and now Mason Oberkramer down to the inside of Aaron Morant, who won't have any of that as Morant takes that runner-up spot back down the front straightaway.
Morant having a little bit of a tire rub there on the right front, but he is able to stay in the gas. And he's one of those drivers, Billy, that really likes to let the big dog eat. He likes to stay on the loud pedal as long as he can, as Oberkramer will slide up in front of him and take away that second spot.
Oh, slide job city right there. A beautiful slide job execution by Mason Oberkramer. Got it clean, but here comes Aaron Morant, going to drive it back down to the inside of Mason Oberkramer. Now into the second spot, clear up on that top shelf on the cushion. Has a little bit of a slip right there by Morant. As some drivers starting to make their way to the front here in the early going of this feature event, but it's the 15 machine of Justin Duty showing the way out in front. Now Mason Oberkramer up on the top shelf. As you see Jesse Stovall in the 00 machine working the top side of this racetrack alongside of your current point leader and Show Me 100 winner, the 15 of Peyton Looney. 3-car battle off the exit of turn number 2. Stovall looking to thread that needle. That time he will pull the trigger down to the inside. He'll slide Joe Gorby and Peyton Looney, but here comes Looney back to the inside as Jesse Stovall all the way up to the wall off the exit of turn number 2. Peyton Looney with a beautiful execution right there. Slides him back up into that position. He takes 5th spot on the racetrack. Gorby back to 6th and Stovall in 7th. Off the exit of turn number 2. Still a great battle down the back chute between that 15 machine of Looney and the 00 machine of Jesse Stovall, who throws a monster slider. How about the crossover right there between Peyton Looney and Jesse Stovall? Stovall is really struggling with that top side of turn 4.
You can see the damage on that right rear that he collected whenever he got up into that outside retaining wall. Jesse's a guy that's had a couple of good runs here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He seems to find his home here, but he did not find his home over there in turn 2.
Near disaster right there in the middle of the backstretch for your race leader, the 15 of Justin Duty. Gets it all sorts of sideways, and now watching this cushion move up on the racetrack as these laps begin to log up on the board. Mason Oberkramer really pushing that cushion up as he now goes to the inside. Reed Millard working their way through lap traffic now. Your top 2 drivers down into turn number 3. Justin Duty now up on the backside of some lap traffic, and he's way up in the marbles at 4.
Well, you see driver after driver having a tough time over in 3 and 4, really misjudging that turn, carrying a lot of speed up, getting up, jumping that berm, and really losing a lot of ground.
Definitely an opportunity right there to capitalize on that if you're sitting there, a guy like Mason Oberkramer, who is now within a car length of your race leader. That one little bobble right there, like you said, starting to put some pressure on Justin Duty as quickly as the yellow flies with 27 laps remaining. 15 machine will take us back under the green as Chad Simpson going to quickly tangle with that front straightaway wall down the front chute. Keep an eye on the 25 of Chad Simpson. He'll fire right back down the back straightaway and quickly back down to the inside of Aaron Morant. He'll slide up in front of Mason Oberkramer. Slide jobs up in turn number 3 and 4. Seems to be the going thing here tonight as Oberkramer slides it sideways. As out in front, it's Justin Duty, but he had better get on the loud pedal because here comes a hard-charging Chad Simpson. Chad Simpson made a quick stop at the 34 Raceway on Friday night on his way down here to the Lucas Oil Speedway for some testing in the 25 machine, and looks to be paying off early on tonight as he has found himself in that runner-up spot as he is still searching for his first MLRA Series win of the season. And here he comes down the front chute, a chance for the lead as he works down to the inside of Justin Duty. Justin Duty continues to show the way on the top side. He'll have the momentum. Carry it down into turn number 3. Aaron Morant right there with him on the top side. Keeping an eye now on Tony Jackson Jr. Jackson started in the 10th position inside your top 5 for the first time tonight as the battle for the race lead works its way into lap traffic. Reed Millard moved down to the inside in car number 14. Justin Duty shows the way to the top shelf on turn 4. He'll slip up this time, but not enough to allow Chad Simpson to make his move.
That lap traffic really has started to bunch this field back up with Simpson in second, Aaron Morant in third, but now that they have cleared Reed Millard, now with Oberkramer down on the inside as well with that battle for third as he's looking to the inside of Aaron Morant. He's now starting to stretch back out as Justin Duty was able to hang on to that top spot. And here comes Tony Jackson Jr. He's up to 4th.
Tony Jackson Jr. also bringing Jesse Stovall with that damaged race car, that right rear spoiler hanging off. Stovall basically got about half of a spoiler left on that car as we may have another quick caution coming off the exit of turn number 4. Jeremy Conaway slowed down the front stretch. Not what you want to see if you're Justin Duty. He will get up and off the racetrack, keeping us green and racing as Chad Simpson now goes back to the outside of Mason Oberkramer. Great battle for second as Oberkramer starting to come back to life here as we hit the halfway point. 20 laps down, 20 to go. If you're Lucas Oil MLRA Late Model Series, Justin Duty looking for his first career win As now, Shane, you got to look up to the top side. Here comes the Undertaker. Stovall right there lurking in the background in fourth.
Even with that damage on the right rear after jumping the berm over in 3 and 4, hitting that outside retaining wall, he has kept it hooked up. He just tends to get faster and faster as the closing laps come in, as he now looks to the outside of Oberkramer.
Just amazing wheelman right there to be able to make that car work as good as it is with that right rear spoiler damage on the backside of the 00 of Stovall's. He quickly works up to the outside of Mason Oberkramer. Chad Simpson continuing to hang on to that second spot, but as of right now, nobody anything for that 15 car of Justin Duty, as he will see just 15 laps to go this time by, but Stovall lurking on the top side.
It's all become a battle for second now as Duty is checked out 3 wide. Stovall way high on the track. He's visited that real estate before. It didn't work out last time. Didn't work out that time either.
Did not work out. Stovall backpedals. He'll have to regroup, and he's going to be up and in the wall again in turn number 4. Jesse Stovall pushing the limits of that 00 machine tonight is once again deep in lap traffic, and it's about to get a little bit more heavy down into turn number 3 and 4. As now you've got Chad Simpson working back to the top side of the racetrack. His Duty that time looked like he had switched to the bottom side.
Well, Duty's just trying to be on a scavenger hunt right now, trying to find the fast way around and keep Chad Simpson in his rearview mirror.
Chad Simpson up on the top shelf. Looks like he may have found some speed the long way around this Lucas Oil Speedway within a car length of Justin Duty. Both drivers liking the bottom side here in turn number 1 and 2. Mason Oberkramer says, let's go to the top side. Oberkramer will take the second spot back, and he's going to slingshot to the outside, this time into turn number 3. Mason Oberkramer looking for his first lead of the night. New race leader, Mason Oberkramer. Oberkramer out of Brosley, Missouri, your top 2 drivers on the grid looking for their first career MLRA Series victory. Off the exit of 4, it's going to be 10 laps to go for the driver out of Brosley in car number 93 as the 15 machine of Justin Duty slowly starts to backpedal into the grasp once again of Chad Simpson.
Well, after leading 28 laps, now Oberkramer has gotten around Duty, has gotten into clean air, and he has just propelled himself out to now a very sizable lead, up to 8-9 car lengths over second place running Justin Duty. And now Oberkramer goes wide over in turn 2 and loses a little bit of ground.
Pressure starting to mount here in the closing laps. More lap traffic, and Justin Duty going to start to reel back in Oberkramer. As Chad Simpson, the veteran, just going to sit there in the crosshairs, looking for an opportunity off the exit of turn number 2 to get back to that back bumper of Justin Duty. As Duty back down to the inside for the race lead off the exit. Here comes Oberkramer up top. Looks to be a strong point down there for Justin Duty. Down the exit of turn number 3 and 4 might be the place he's going to have to try and make his move.
Oberkramer over in turns 1 and 2 really diamond that corner. Took a hard left-hand turn. Got a lot of momentum coming off of the turn and just shot back out in front.
6 laps to go. Oberkramer now got him a buffer out there on the racetrack between himself and that 15 of Justin Duty. Down the front straightaway, your race leaders come. This time at the line, they will see 5 laps to go on the racetrack. First time feature win for Mason Oberkramer awaits. Just his 7th MLRA start of the season, part-time basis, as he now works around a couple of lap cars on the bottom and up onto the back bumper of the 91 machine up Tony Toast down into turn number 1. Oberkramer now with 2 cars between himself and the 15, almost half a straightaway advantage this time, and as he works down to the inside of Tony Toast.
Simpson's running out of time. He's only got a couple of laps left if he's going to find a way to get around Duty for second.
Simpson right there in the second spot. Big points night potentially for Chad Simpson if he can get this done and hang on to that podium finish in car number 15. Gain a few points on your current series point leader, Peyton Looney. Looney 1 spot behind him in the 4th position. Oberkramer, yellow flag, yellow out on the speedway with just a pair of laps to go. Drivers looking for that first elusive win. Oberkramer back to the green flag here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Justin Duty going to try and tiptoe the bottom side, find some momentum, find an error from that 93 to this point. Oberkramer, a flawless race. He's on the top side, flirts with the cushion. He will see the white flag this time by. Mason Oberkramer, long haul to find a first career win. Now the battle for second is Chad Simpson tries to take a shot at Justin Duty. conservative line this time to turn number 3 and 4. Finally getting it done. Mason Oberkramer. He will pick up tonight's Ron Jenkins Memorial. Second spot will go to Justin Duty, Chad Simpson, Peyton Looney.
I don't know if me and Chad got together going down this front straightaway here and boogered something up in my right front, and I really couldn't stare after that for about 10 laps till I got it dialed back in. And man, it's been a long time coming for one of these. I've been chasing this track for 5 years now, and it's just gremlins get me every time. You know, it's just I'm so happy to finally land one. I can't thank my parents enough. My whole family, all my friends that help at the shop, Tony Jackson, man, his whole family is awesome. Just the Todd Hall, Scott Bailey engines. How about that sucker tonight, huh? Was that thing screaming or what, guys? Base Racing Fuel, Alex Johnson with Got Foam, Dustin Nichols, these Fox shocks, man, everything just, it was clicking tonight.
Top side of this racetrack was a little bit treacherous. It looked like if you went in just a little bit too much, you were going to hit them marbles and you could backpedal a handful of positions. Fine line up there.
Yeah, it was live or die. You know how that is. It's the thin line that'll make or break you. And I had to move up and take Jesse's line. You know, he's one of the best around here. But Dad was signaling me to the top, so that's what I did. I got up there and had to get it done. Also, forgot one of my good buddies back here, Chris Davis with Midwest Sheet Metal. He helps me out a bunch.
Have been able to break away and stay clean on the opening couple of attempts, but we'll try it again as Andy Bryant sees the green flag first, goes right back to the middle of the track, and a good 2-car length advantage in front of Dylan McCowan. At least get through 1 and 2 clean this time. Then Andy Bryant, that's the real estate we know he likes to live in, up on the top of the track, but he'll dive down in turns 1 and 2, and Dylan McCowan will go up to the high side, see if he can make anything work up there.
Bryant likes to spend his time in the high rent district, but for turns 1 and 2 and now 3 and 4, he buries that 28 to the bottom of the racetrack, and Dylan McCowan battles right back now, taking his Rage chassis right to the bottom of the racetrack and trying to go stride for stride with your race leader.
So need to get something out in the open here in the opening couple of laps. Dylan McCowan has not had a lot of success as of late. And
had a whale of a start to the season.
Had a great start, was actually leading the USRA BMON National Point Championship battle as he is side by side with Andy Bryant up front. Anytime we as announcers have started to talk about how well the 8 has done, something breaks on the car. He spins out, gets involved in an incident. So we have a running joke with he and his dad that we don't say anything positive about the number 8 because it brings up bad luck. So
if you're a McCowan fan and you think we're not showing your driver enough love, we're doing it for him as much as anything else.
Andy Bryant stays out in front by 2 car lengths over the 8 of Dylan McCowan, and Dylan with 2 wins, one of which came after a DQ and now a spin. Andy Bryant has led throughout. It's only been 5 laps, 20 remain. It's the green in the air again, and J.C. Morton now has gotten around the number 8, taking over the 2nd spot as he goes top shelf. There's Chris Jackson. He's up to 5th, has McGowan on his outside. As the cars spread out, go down low, go up high. Again, a multi-group track here as the top 3 have lined out nose to tail.
Bryant taking a different line than what we're used to, keeping it out high on the straights, but going down low. Now this time Morton goes ahead and takes over that low line, slides up the track, gets the binders on to avoid making contact with Bryant, who continues to stay in the lead by almost a second over Morton, McCowan, and here comes Chris Jackson.
He is up to 3rd. He has gotten to the inside of J.C. Morton. The 18 and the 65 have had their battles throughout the year. Now J.C. Morton has taken himself out of the picture as he jumps the berm on the top side, loses 3 spots. Dylan McCowan still continues to run that high side. And Chris Jackson now has worked up to 3rd. A tight battle for 2nd, and Andy Bryant now has worked out. He has gotten a pretty good lead over McCowan and Jackson as they continue to do side-by-side battle.
McCowan with a good run off the top of turn number 2 gives him back that number 2 spot. Chris Jackson, always a catfish. He likes to keep that 65 at the bottom of the racetrack. Slides up in front of McCowan to hold on to the second place spot right now. A 4-time winner here this year with 12 top 10s to the credit of the 65 with that Rubel race engine underneath the hood, and that is what has powered him. Shane, for as long as we've been coming here, the last 3 years, he is one of those drivers that swears by a Rubel race engine.
He's up to second now with that power plant under the hood. Andy Bryant has started to check out. There you see him about a half a straightaway advantage over Chris Jackson now as we have reached the midway point. That car that's sitting back in third, Dylan McCowan, that is Chris Jackson's old car that he won all the national championships with in 18 and 19. Jackson went to a new chassis this season, got that midway through the year, and as we mentioned, he just really kind of struggled in the early going. Yes, he did have a win, but it just was not the same Chris Jackson that we had seen week in, week out. He now has his car headed in the right direction. Now a side-by-side battle a little deeper in the field as J.C. Newell, pilot of the 83, has worked to the inside. He has gotten to the inside of Nivens, and what a job by Nivens there in that number 13. That's one of the musical chair rides we've seen. That used to be Sean Whitman's car. He purchased it from Sean Whitman this week. Sean Whitman was left without a ride. David Hendricks had the 54 machine. Bought it from him because he just didn't have the time to drive that car with the busy work schedule he had. Only had 20 laps on that car. So now Whitman with a new ride, Nivens with a new ride, and now Newell to the inside looking for a change of position there.
And J.C. Newell has been just so close all season long, Shane. He was 4th at Dallas County last week. The driver of the 83 has had 7 second-place finishes this season.
Points back of Jim Chisholm, so every win, every point counts. If he's going to try to make it 3 in a row, he will start from the inside with Andy Bryant right in front of him. And these two have put on amazing shows over the years, and they go right where they go just about every week with Chris Jackson to the low side, Andy Bryant top shelf, and Jackson fights for the lead, gets his nose to the inside of Bryant once more as he challenges for that top spot in 1 and 2.
Bryant just gets way too good of a run off the top of turn number 2 now as there is a car off the pace. Bryant right around the cushion. He will fire off of turn number 4 and just barely be inches in front of Chris Jackson. Look at Jackson tricycle that one through 1 and 2 and then drift up the track toward the 28.
And here's the thing with the 2 lines that they're running. Andy Bryant has to be near perfect if he's going to rattle off these laps. Yes, he can get the momentum, but all it takes is one false move, jumping the cushion up on that top shelf, and he'll just set anchor and go back through the field. Chris Jackson, on the other hand, you're running that low line as long as you keep from clipping those tires as a car gets a little on the wild side up on the top shelf, and Andy Bryant has to get around Jake Hodges. Chris Jackson has a little bit of wiggle room. Andy Bryant really doesn't.
Yeah, but Bryant spends so much time up there. This time he gets up into the loose stuff, and that will do it. Jackson powers around him and takes over the lead with 4 laps to go.
14th to first. New leader on the track is Chris Jackson. Jackson, Bryant, Newell, Morton, and Nivens having a good run. As Jackson now starting to take that line away from Andy Bryant. The low line worked. Now Andy Bryant's going to go for it. Drifts up high on the track, and he's going to lose a lot of ground to Chris Jackson on that move over in turns 1 and 2.
We saw it happen earlier in the race, Shane, when J.C. Morton went up and over the cushion, and he fell about 4 or 5 spots back. He has battled his way back up into the top 5 as the driver from Springfield, Missouri currently rides in 4th.
2 laps to go, and Chris Jackson has now set sail as Nivens has a slight advantage over Gilmore back deeper in the field as the white flag will come out. Side-by-side battle for position there. That is for 5th. The battle for the top 5. Nivens has it now. But Chris Jackson, 14th to 1st. He was the driver to watch, and we watched him put on a show tonight as he sees the Checkers first, picking up a feature win here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks.